Om Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisam Tattvamasya Adilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Before we get into the song of Krishna, Gita, let us first salute to Bhagavan. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. I salute unto you Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Guru, Master of the world, Son of Vasudeva, Supreme bliss of Devaki, Destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura, I bow down to you. So, yesterday, we were actually speaking about understanding that existence loves us and understands us better than we understand ourselves. And we were also speaking about surrender, the ultimate relaxation. Please understand, have simple trust in existence, in the intelligence of the life force. This is the very life force, the energy that is keeping you alive. That is why enrich others, because they are part of you. They are part of you. Please understand, when you are talking about enriching, you are not enriching somebody else. Enriching is the nature. I also spoke about the mongoose story, right? The mongoose concluded that Yudhishthira, Dharmaraja's sacrifice was not an ultimate sacrifice because the other half of the mongoose's body did not turn into gold. Bhagavan says, enrich others for the sake of enriching. When you enrich others at your own expense, by denying yourself, you function at the level of universal energy. You function as part of the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, meaning the whole world is my family. See, understand what Bhagavan is saying. The things which we can afford, no matter how great they are, even if we give up, that is not a sacrifice. The things which are beyond you, denying yourself and enriching others with that, that is ultimate sacrifice. The whole world is my family, Krishna is saying. Only then you will operate out of compassion. Then there is no compulsion or no moral injunction to give. There is no expectation that you will go to heaven if you give and to hell if you don't. Is there something like that? No. That is why time and again Swamiji tells people, do not donate anything to the mission in the belief that he will help you pass through the gates of heaven. First of all, there is no heaven, and second, Swamiji is not its gatekeeper. So don't give anything, donate anything to the mission on the idea that he will help you pass through the gates of heaven if you donate. He is not the gatekeeper. And there is no heaven, by the way. Many times, even your enriching others has a selfish motive. You always think, if I enrich, I may get this and this back. Oh, if I give $10, I'll get $1,000 back. Do not enrich with purpose. The whole point is about purposelessness, isn't it? Let enriching be a purposeless happening. Now, I'm giving the right and complete reason for enriching. Please listen. Because everyone is part of you. Listen carefully. Because everyone is part of you, enriching every being is nothing but enriching some part of you. Only then are you practicing the tattva of enriching Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, the whole world as your family. Enrich others. Anything you see, anything you experience is extension of you. Anybody whom you experience in your life is extension of you. So when you enrich them, the parts of you are enriched. Understand? When they feel completion, part of you will become complete. Somehow, even in enriching you continuously, have your own small understandings, small goals, and small purposes. If you do the same work with a small reason, you will have small result. If you do it with higher reason, you will have higher result. That is why it is said, you serving an enlightened being, serving brings totally different result. Even if both do the same action, everyone, whether you accept or not, realize or not, everyone is part of you. Krishna says that enriching should be practiced because everyone is part of you. Nobody is separate from us. Only then does enriching become a selfless sacrifice. There is a joy, a bliss that enters your being when you act out of sacrifice, selflessly to enrich others. See, understand, the bliss is always there. But when you are free from the filtering root pattern and mind, you start experiencing the bliss. The garbage of expectations disappears and bliss is experienced. This was the principle on which various sacrificial rituals came into existence in the Vedic culture. These were only instruments of mass meditation. See, the energy of the cosmic space, Akasha. The cosmic space is called Akasha, was captured by the vibrations of the air created by chanting mantras. Please understand, the energy of the cosmic space was captured by the vibrations of the air created by chanting mantras. This energized air fueled the sacred fire in the sacrificial fire pit. Understand, this energized air fueled the sacred fire in the sacrificial fire pit, Homagunda. The sacrificial fire pit is called Homagunda. This energy was transferred to pots of water by physically linking the pots to the fire pit through many threads. This energized holy water, understand, was then sprinkled on bodies, deities, and the earth to complete the energy cycle. You guys must have noticed, after every Rudra Homa or some Kalabhairava Homa, always the Maharaj in Biddi, he comes and he carries a pot, remember, with all the threads around it. And with a leaf, he sprinkles the water on all of us. That is what Bhagavan is speaking about. All 5 energy points. What are the 5 energy points? Space, air, fire, water, and earth. These are connected through such a ritual to benefit humanity. It was only a metaphoric offering of all that was sacrificed to the fire. During these rituals, understand, during these rituals, great kings and nobles who performed the rituals gave away to those who lacked material wealth. These rituals helped to maintain material balance. But as the mongoose is saying, Even the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira. Rajasuya Yajna is the huge Yajna, Oma, which normally nobody can do. So the mongoose is saying, even the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthira performed to celebrate his victory. It lacked the spirit of enriching as the sacrifice of the poor Brahmin family. The spirit of enriching which the poor Brahmin family had, the spirit is not existing in his yajna. Only it was having celebration of his victory. That is why mongoose did not turn golden. So, enrich to give away what you need, not what you do not need. We very conveniently forget an important fact and take life happening for us with others for granted. Please listen. We always take life happening for us with others for granted. Please understand, anything you receive without enriching is stolen. Bhagavan, Sri Krishna explains enriching beautifully to Arjuna in the 12th verse. Satisfied with the selfless enriching, the celestial beings certainly bestow upon you the desired enjoyments of life. He who enjoys the things given by them without offering anything to the celestial beings is certainly a theft. Bhagavan says, if you don't do yajna and give back to the divine energy, you are certainly a thief. Krishna does not mean just pouring some offerings into a fire. He also means doing the proper authentic action. For example, if you are cutting a tree, you have to plant at least 5 trees. Come on. You can't go on cutting without planting anything. If you are taking water from the river, you should make sure that the recycled water is purified and added to the river. Constantly enriching the source and keeping it alive for the next generation is yajna. Yajna is not just offering some offerings in the fire. Understand? Constantly enriching the source and keeping it alive for the next generation is yajna. All these traditions which are there, understand? Keeping them alive for the next generation is very important, isn't it? We are losing all these skills, everything, all talents. See, the temples which we are building, because we are not building so many now, the artists, the workers who have the talent of that carving all those things on the stone, they are losing their skill because we are not using that skill at all. Same way, pottery. Because we are leaving all the usage of the traditional and cultural stuff. The talented people, they're losing their skill. They're getting diverted to other professions, isn't it? We have to keep all that alive for next generation. That is yajna. Do not touch anything which you can't replace. Really. We are killing an animal to eat. Can we pour life into something? No. We can't. So, do not touch anything which you can't replace, like sources, which can be exhausted but not replenished. Do not use non-renewable energy sources. Use only renewable energy sources. That is part of enriching yajna. Please understand, using only renewable energy sources is part of enriching yajna. Enriching is a yajna. Krishna is very clear. Listen, if you are not enriching, but only taking and enjoying, you are a thief. Asteya, non-stealing, is one of the important vows of sannyasa. And it can be maintained only by enriching. Only when you continuously enrich others will non-stealing be maintained. Enriching is where life happens to you. Only when you continuously enrich others will non-stealing be maintained. I can say that enriching means infusing all the three tattvas of integrity, authenticity, responsibility into satya, truth. See, you know what? Many times I tell people, start the integrity practice, be authentic in your action, but I am telling you one secret. Forget about integrity, authenticity, responsibility. Start enriching. Then all the other three tattvas will just follow you. You don't have to practice all four tattvas one after the other. Really. Life just happens to others, to us with others. Whether it is sannyasa or samsara, the joys of spirituality or the joys of the world, everything happens with company, with sangha. Life happens to us with others. Today, I am enriching you, yes, but I am getting enriched, isn't it? If I am getting enriched, that's because life is happening to me with others. If you are not here sitting and listening, to whom will I speak? To whom will I teach? How will I get enriched? So the joys of spirituality or the joys of the world, everything happens with company, with sangha. Understand? Whether it is satsanga or dussanga, good or bad association. Dussanga means bad association. Satsanga means good association. Whether it is for this or for that, everything happens to you through sangha. Whether it is dussanga or satsanga, you need a sangha. Whether it is basic food or the ultimate luxury, everything happens to you with others. That is why if you don't enrich others, it is stealing and life does not happen to you. I tell you, decide to enrich everyone you see with these tattvas. In just a few months, you will see that you are surrounded by gods and you are living in heaven. Really. See, you are in a high frequency. If all the people around you are in low frequency, how will you feel? You don't even feel like associating, right? You won't feel peaceful. You'll be disturbed by their stupidity. But if you enrich them and bring them to the higher frequency, what will happen? Your life will be smooth, right? You will be living in heaven. Otherwise, what will happen? Constant fights, constant arguments, our peace of mind gone. That is why decide to enrich everyone you see with these tattvas. Literally, your life will become heaven. Go on enriching people, Bhagavan is saying. Bhagavan is saying in this verse, 14th verse, all beings grow from food grains, from rains. See, understand? All beings grow from food grains. But these food grains became possible from rains. And the rains became possible from selfless sacrifice of enriching. Know that work is born of the Creator and He is born of the Supreme. The all-pervading Supreme is eternally situated in sacrifice of enriching. He is addressing Arjuna. He who does not adopt the prescribed, established cycle lives a life full of sins. Rejoicing in sense gratification, he lives a useless life. See, only when the all-pervading Supreme is eternally situated in sacrifice of enriching, all this rain is happening. Only then the food grains are happening. Only then we are able to eat and alive. That is why anybody who is rejoicing in sense gratification, he lives a useless life, Bhagavan says. So what is Bhagavan saying? Oh Partha, he who does not adopt the prescribed established cycle lives a life full of sins. Rejection, he lives a useless life. Bhagavan is saying that. Please understand, this metaphorical explanation in a few verses actually has a deep meaning about life, about how we connect with life, how we depend on the universe, and how we affect the whole universe. Just this concept that Sri Krishna explains in a few verses here is explained in detail in the Upanishad. Our relationship with the activity of nature is a very deep one. Our actions are like oblations offered in a fire sacrifice. Our activities are not just movements of the limbs. When we perform a yajna, a fire sacrifice of enriching the source, the cosmic energy we pour, various offerings into the fire, we do so to tap the cosmic energy and to flow in tune with existence and with nature. The subtlest, most powerful and all-pervasive cosmic energy is invoked through the slightly less subtle air element when we chant the mantra and we connect and enrich the still, even more, less subtle fire energy through the fire ritual. Then energy is then transferred to water, a grosser energy. And then the water in the pots is poured over plants, idols, and humans, as well as the earth, which is the grossest form of energy. Understanding? This is the procedure which happens in a yajna, isn't it? When we chant the mantra, it's a very powerful way to enrich the world through our integrity and authenticity. You take the responsibility for the words and for making the mantra into reality. When you take the responsibility for the words you utter and start working, you enrich the world mystically and physically, metaphysically and physically. A physical action is a gross expressed action, something that can be seen on the physical plane. Thoughts, mental actions are subtler, unexpressed actions, and they cannot be seen on the physical plane. See, people might ask, where is the proof? You can't show everything on the physical plane, you can't see. Enriching is the way in which you relate with the expressed component of God. Please understand, there is so much which is not expressed, unseen, and there is so much which is expressed. So enriching is the way in which you relate with the, you need to relate with God somehow. Expressed component of God. Unknown anyway, you can't relate. At least the expressed component of God, you want to relate with it. What is the way then? Enriching is the language. The expressed part of God, relating with it, enriching is the language. Integrity and authenticity are the ways in which you relate with the unexpressed, avyakta part. Please understand. Something is unexpressed. With that component, if you want to relate, integrity and authenticity. But the expressed components, with that, if you want to relate, enriching is the way. Responsibility and enriching are the ways in which you relate with vyakta, the expressed part of God. We are talking in a language. Same way, there are two parts of God. One is unexpressed. The other one is expressed. So, with the unexpressed part of the universe, when you want to relate with it with some language, integrity and authenticity of you, with your words, with your thoughts, with your actions, this is the way to relate with that unexpressed part of God. Now, there is something called expressed God material, like a guru, like master, whatever, like Sangha. Then with the expressed part of the God, when you have to talk, relate, what is it? Your action should be enriching. Your language should be enriching. I'm relating with you all. You are Paramashivas. You are Nityanandaites. I'm telling you, you are expressed components of God. Because you are disciples of Swami Nityananda. Because you are extensions of my Guru, you are my extensions also. So you are expressed part of God. Now I have to relate with you. How do I do that? See, understand, only because of me starting to enrich you, that is how we started relating with each other. So this is enriching is the language. See you all. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadguru Padarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam.